Welcome, ladies, to the grand final of the All Hallows Cup. And yep, this is going to be a best of 7. We're starting things off on Dragonshire, and we have Laubers Fanclub going up against Washed Up today. And this is going to be a good one. I'm going to explain a little bit about the tournament, also the UI and everything, but let's introduce our players first. Lauber on the left side, part of his own fan club as it happens, playing Mal'Ganis, Henning on Oriel, Copenhagen on ETC, Chris on Phoenix, and Ty on Vala. And over to the right side, Hazorps for Washed Up on Junkrat, Dequaza on Dehaka, Banana H on Rhaegar, and Nick is trying to carry again on Carrigan, with Masquerade on Jojo. Alrighty, oops, that's not quite what we want. Yeah, the UI. So once again, there was a little bit of a hotfix that Blizzard introduced, and unfortunately that ruined replays again, which is exactly why we're looking at the old Klein right now. The tournament here has been... Ooh! That was a really nice setup, with Junkrat following up on Carrigan's stun, but they couldn't get the kill against Chris on Phoenix. But as I was about to say, this is the reason why we're using the old UI here. It's, by the way, also the reason why we do not have the draft, because replays, obviously, in this game do not include the draft itself. You have to have some tolerance for that, because Blizzard is a small indie company, so we can't really expect them to include that in the replay files. It's just a little bit too much to ask for. But of course, that's totally fine, because we know that with you, if you have a smaller company like this, there are just some things you can't pull off. They just simply don't have the manpower. But we have, therefore, also the old UI, and that's the HTC UI, which actually has a lot of benefits. I mean, there's a lot of infrastructure on the map, a lot of space, and without the UI cluttering it up, which is kind of cool. The problem with this UI is that it's incredibly difficult to keep track of stacks in any way, and makes it kind of impossible to look at quest talents. So with that in mind, we unfortunately have to deal with this, at least for this series. But it's a best of 7, and again, this is a grand final. And there was quite a lot of money on the line, a couple of thousand, and the players are obviously extremely eager to take this. There is no winner's bracket or loser's bracket advantage, so we're starting into this best of 7 with a 0-0, so no double elimination system. And ETC at the top lane falls immediately. Yeah, ETC playing in an offlane position. He will likely take stage dive later on in the game. Down to the bottom, we have also more camps now claimed, and this is obviously going to be quite nice to not only grab some experience, but also try and get a bit of a lead from a structural perspective. The problem for the fan club is that they're currently sitting just on level 4, and the opponent has already taken a pretty significant lead here. The attack's still in, and Vala is down, as we have the second kill coming through from Washed Up. Nice play by them right here. And we move through the middle, as Lauber is already rotating back at this point too. And, well, he's actually trying to go for the interrupt, and he gets it as ETC rotates towards the top to claim at least one of the shrines and deny the Dragon Knight. That worked out. The problem is that Lauber is in trouble, but thanks to the Fell Claws, he is able to get away. Now, ETC is in a very ungrateful position where he has to not only claim top position, but also soak the experience up, which is exactly what he's currently trying to do up here. Dehaka is already back to business, and thanks to that global advantage that we have from the red team, Washed Up might actually be able to grab up one of those Dragon Knights. Chris is also in trouble at the bottom of the map as Masquerade is moving in to put the pressure onto Tai Svala. And again, the double control on the shrines, which puts Carrigan into a good position mid lane, especially since he's now trying to force Lauber off the point, and once that he's gone, they can grab this one. Dehaka is still zoning out ETC topside. Chris moving into the middle. They're making a play for a kill. Junkrat at the bot lane has in the meantime pushed Vala off the point. But this is a fierce battle, and with the level 7 talents now dropping into the hands of Washed Up, they have a lead in this game, and a pretty significant one at that, at least for a few more seconds. If they can force a fight around it, that would be great for them. But the pressure is definitely on the blue team. I mean, Washed Up and Laubers Fan Club, formerly Granite Gaming, the two teams have, of course, played an absolute phenomenal series multiple times now. Another kill against Phoenix here. That's the third one now coming in. It's pretty much like in most of the grand finals, we have those two going up against each other. There's a few other teams, like Nothing Changed, for example, that oftentimes is able to push into the final rounds as well, and sometimes takes the spot in the grand final. But the epic matches that we've seen between the fan club and Washed Up, I mean, there's like so many of them. With all the tournaments that we have right now, the 2 of them definitely belong in the top 3 of European Heroes of the Storm teams right now. 3 kills against 0, and it seems like at least today, Washed Up is starting to get a slight lead in this. Now topside, Dehaka and ETC are still fighting this out. And here comes another lockdown against Phoenix, and Chris tries to get out. What? Nice attempt by Jojo to get him with a flashlight, but unfortunately for Washed Up, they could not secure the kill. They're still ahead. The red team definitely have the advantage, but the problem is they still weren't able to lock a Dragon Knight down. So 5 minutes into it, Copenhagen is taking over at the top again. Lauber still in trouble in the middle. Needs to be cautious against Nick. Moves in as Chris is jumping through. They have the control over the shrines, but here's the combo against Mal'Ganis, and it might be a kill, but Rhaegar falls. And that's the first kill in favor of the Fanclub. And Chris nearly gets the Dragon Knight just as we have 2 shrines being captured again by the red team. Especially Junkrat at the bottom of the map has done a great job here, so Hazo Ops is already locking this down. But damn, we have really aggressive rotations the entire time here now. 3 kills against 1, and thanks to that drop against Rhaegar, we're now looking at nearly even experience again. So finally, after the entire time the pressure was on the Fanclub, they have broken through a bit and are now in a position where they might just be able to fight back into this game. Now, they weren't ever far behind or anything, but the momentum was definitely shifting against them. But now things might just work in their favor. Level 10 abilities are ready though for their opponents, so they have to be cautious. Ultralisk picked up, and level 10 abilities now available on both sides, with camps taken again at the bot side of the map. ETC now with the stage dive, blast shield, and Oriel with the immediate Aegis. Nice job by Henning, but Vala dies regardless, just too much trouble. ETC with the stage dive and the slide over Junkrat. He's down. Oriel with the last hit here, handling that whip like a champ. And Masquerade is fighting through as Banana H gets nearly stunned out, but Lauber wasn't able to connect, and Carrigan was already covering his retreat with a few stuns of her own, so nicely done. Kill for a kill in that encounter. But obviously the setup here with Oriel in particular is really hinging on them trying to get the damage out, so that Oriel is generating even more hope than she can do by herself, and therefore heal everybody out there. The damage output that we have with the 2 range damage dealers on the side of the Fanclub, also quite powerful on single targets in particular. But the fight is coming in again, and here comes the setup. Nice Ancestral, keeping Masquerade alive. Again, the displacement from Junkrat as he's trying to create some space for the team. But ETC has taken over the top lane again. And with this, at least for a short period of time, there is a double channel. Quasar comes in for the interrupt again. Needs to be careful as Lauber is moving in. At the bottom of the map, we have the fight continuing with Tai and Henning trying to push into the shrine. And we are 7.5 minutes in. Not a single Dragon Knight this far. 6 kills in total. Nick on Carrigan moving in again, trying to be aggressive here. Rhaegar's coming in too and is putting the pressure on the Chris in the back. But here comes ETC. And thanks to the stage dive, there's a lockdown attempt against Banana H. That didn't quite work out. Carrigan doing a good job here, but the next slide puts her in trouble, and she goes down. Strafe even being used from Tai. Quasar moves in with a global, is looking for the drag. The Reptile comes through too, but gets pushed back by ETC. Nice damage against Tai and Copenhagen alike though, but not enough to drop another hero. 4 kills against 3 now. Phoenix already at the top, and there is action all over the map now. Quick rotations from both teams, always the attempt to gank up on an opponent, trying to grab some extra experience as they're pushing out the minion waves. And here comes the rotation towards the top as they're going in for Phoenix. Tries to move out, not out of harm's way yet, but Banana H is putting the pressure onto ETC at this point. Trying to jump in for him. Nick is also rushing in on his little pony. Couldn't really do a lot here, but they are able to push the wave out, and that could put the pressure onto the fountain in particular. If you take that down, then you take your opponent's lane sustain away, which is exactly what the blue team does at the bottom of the map. Tai is even staying slightly longer to put the pressure onto the fort itself. Now Rhaegar also barely getting out. Again the setup against Johanna. Einskin is still up, but the Ancestral is still needed to keep the tank alive. The drag doesn't connect as Lauber dodges out towards the top. Stage dive comes in from ETC. 5 versus 5 in the mid lane. A big slide from him. The damage, and Carrigan is down. And they might even get the kill against Johanna, who just barely walks away. Aegis nicely played. Can they get the kill here? And they cannot. What a fight, and what a great setup from the fan club as they are able to pick up a kill. 4 kills against 4. And how quickly this game has changed. 13.5. Big lead now for the team in blue, at least when it comes to experience. And that translates into a stats advantage and might even lead to them grabbing the early level 16, depending on the next few minutes. And if they can pull that off, it would of course be fantastic to grab finally Dragonite, because we're nearly 10 minutes in and we haven't seen one yet. No fort has fallen yet either. This map is a great opening into the best of 7 series here at the All Hallows Cup. And Carrigan is looking for the next target. It's actually just absolutely beautiful to see Nick bringing Carrigan back into the meta. And I mean, he really demands the respect of every team that he faces off against. There's a reason why we see so many teams actually banning Carrigan out against Washed Up these days, because they know how much Nick can actually do to that. Yeah, well, and as we're talking about it, there's the engage and there's the kill. Johanna delivers the final blow, but obviously a lot of the credit goes to Carrigan with the setup and the stuns. Now Camp's taken all over the place again to put the pressure onto the bottom fort and try to control the lane even more from the perspective of the blue team. The fan club has also to defend top side now, because their Quasar is already proxying those minion waves and ensures that ETC is in a lot of trouble. He's not the only one. That fort is taking a fair amount of damage. It's again all about the Dragonite attempts here. Strafe being used and Hazu barely jumping out here. Yeah, but at the top side, that fort is down. First one to fall. And the control at the bottom of the map as Nick is moving in and just daring Vala to make a move. Tai, nice jukes from him, juking towards the inside. Here comes the Ultralisk, but Nick is in trouble. Chrysalis is being used. Riptire attempt for the save. And Tai goes down and Nick survives for another moment. Is not out of harm's way yet, with Lauber and Copenhagen both going for him. The Haka has already fallen. Can the fan club get the second kill? That's the big question here. Johanna with the blessed shield covering the retreat. And now finally another shrine grab by the blue team as they're attempting to deny the Dragonite to their opponent. We have 6 kills against 5. Nearly level 16 now for the fan club. And 11.5 minutes into this game, we still have not seen a single Dragonite here. Ooh, the moves at the bot lane, the experience taken. Chris sitting up against Nick and Tazos. Banana H is rotating in 2, so Phoenix has to be super careful with this. Level 16 talents are ready as well, so we have the elongated tongue for the Haka that might help him with even more setups, and also the synergy of Rhaegar's level 1 and level 16 now, so he can drop that totem and really just get a huge amount of CC in. And talking CC, Nick is already looking towards Copenhagen at the top side. By the way, Vala has gone into Manticore with a multi-shot build, not into the frost shots, which would have been an option for sure. But against that front line and Carrigan, Dehaka and Jojo, definitely a decent move to put in the pressure despite the blinds. But here comes the setup and what a kill! The coordinated pressure from Washed Up, absolutely beautiful. And ETC didn't have a prayer here. Masquerade moving in, he went into the imposing presence on level 16. Lauber is again being able to move out the Nightcore. Stun attempt, successful I might add, but no follow-up yet. Masquerade still has his heroic ability, and he uses it. They're going for Vala apparently. There's the dodge out attempt. Hazops was trying to follow up on it. The drag against Phoenix. Take Quasar with the move. And that's another kill. Staggered death against the fan club. And maybe now, 13 minutes in, we're finally going to see a Dragonite in this game. Really well done by them. And here we have it. Lauber is already in a bit of trouble. He needs to be careful. He gets stunned once. If there's a drag connecting with him, he might die too. He's trying to go for the interrupt, and he buys Vala the time to get the bottom of the map. Even the ult has to be used by Lauber to keep himself alive. Melgan is difficult to kill in these setups. But talking about setups, Tai is in trouble, and here comes the totem. Strafe is being used, the slide after the stage dive, and the self-ancestral of the little doggy comes too late. Rhaegar goes down, and now we have again the red team on the retreat for another moment. Yeah, they're looking at a 5 versus 4 setup once that Phoenix is back to business. 6 kills against 8. We still didn't see a Dragonite. This first game is absolutely crazy. This is actually pretty nuts. Nick is coming in again. He's like, ooh, juicy, juicy, juicy. Yeah, the whip to the face. Once again, we have the Henning playing Indiana Jones, Chrysalis, Dehaka, can they save it? No, they cannot. Kerrigan goes down. Nick is getting eliminated. Hazov is also low and gets... What? He gets away? You're kidding, right? One hit away from being eliminated by Lauber, and he's not able to make it out of there. But now ETC is moving in the middle, and nearly 15 minutes into the game, we finally have a Dragon Knight. And this one can definitely hurt. I mean, has scaled into the late game already a little bit. Easy kills against the mid lane tower, and the bottom gets pressured as well. And in terms of the damage output, you can already see that Phoenix is sitting at 46,000, a little bit ahead of Vala actually. Kerrigan with 37k, the top damage dealer for the red team. And guys, we're nearly looking at level 20 at this point in time. I mean, it's absolutely bonkers now. So with this, we might see the keep at the bot lane fall too. They're trying to make the play here. Let's go. Half a level, a little bit more is missing until the Storm Talons are there, and that would be a massive lead. Here's the combo attempt. Dragon Knight still with a few additional hits, and yeah, playing it really safe and passive. I mean, this is one of the things where you can really get maximum value out of the objective. You're not YOLOing into the towers, you're not losing the HP too fast, you're just waiting for the cooldown on the Dragon's Breath to come back up. And then you use that AoE to burn down those structures, especially of course the walls, the gate, but also the minions themselves. And they are getting mad value out of this one. So the fort is down, the wall at the bottom has also been eliminated, is still able to get a bit more in with this. Another breath comes through, if they can get a follow-up kill, that would be fantastic. 20 is close. The Dragon Knight still gets a bit more damage into the mid lane, and that hurts. That does a lot of work. But they don't have 20 yet. And it was also a decent defense. I mean, if you look at experience, and we have both of the teams again on nearly the same level. So the 20 advantage for Laubers Fanclub is not really going to last long. It's not going to be a problem at all. But from a structural perspective, slight advantage now for the Fanclub. But there's the 20. And we have Crowd Pleaser taken, the Farflight Quiver. That's going to give Manticore even more utility, since Ty will be able to get even more auto attacks in against that front line, now that he's going to stay a bit safer there. With level 20, the Contagion is taken for Dehaka. I think it's a good one off there, that would be great. Storm Shield 2. Rayquaza comes in from the side. The fight is split a little bit, but the first victim is Oriel. She goes down as Kopenhagen moves in, and there's the second kill against Vala. All of the sudden, Washed Up is looking fantastic here. They're jumping in with Kerrigan again, looking for the combo, pushing out ETC. Ancestral comes through, saves the team. Copenhagen is in trouble, and Hazu just zones him out completely. Eventually, ETC is going to die, one would think. Is he actually going to get away from this one? 1, 2, 1 more, and there we go. Down goes the front line. Yeah, ETC down, and so Maldanis did die too. All of a sudden it's 12 kills against 7, and there's just wild pings all over the place. Let's go for the camp, boys. Let's try to go through the structures at the bottom of the map. If the objective pops up, they have another chance to move in for it too and grab the advantage. Shrines are activating, but you can see the full momentum swing in this game, as Washed Up is pushing their Fanclub into a defensive position here. The Fanclub definitely on the ropes now. There's a lot of pressure. There's a double camp at the bot lane. Hazorps is destroying the wave that came in to defend the structures. Chris, the only survivor now. At least Oriel is back. But we already have heroes getting ready in position to take both of the shrines and claim the Dragon Knight. And that's not the only thing. The rest of the team moved over to grab another camp. Even more pressure. But here's Junkrat, topside is Dehaka, and Masquerade is sitting mid-side and says, well, boys, that's it. I'm going to drag that Dragon Knight, and then we're going to go straight from here. And let's see what they can pull off. It's 18 minutes into it, and there's a good chance that they're walking away with a keep. I mean, this fort is not going to survive for long. There's a couple of hits. The Dragon Knight is just hitting like a truck at this point. But they don't want to lose the HP on it. They're actually waiting it out, and it seems like the decision was made to even ignore the fort and instead try and focus on the keep at the bottom of the map, especially since ETC has to deal with the top side. Then again, his ult is up. Mal'Ganis gets caught, and oh my god, Lauber just lulbered into this and heavily into it here. That did not work out at all as planned. Didn't even have time to use his ult or anything to get out of harm's way. And with the tank all of a sudden being eliminated, that means it's a 5 versus 4 on top of it. This is a pretty big disaster. kick in the ass for Vala as she's getting kicked out of the frame, and now the keep is dying within seconds, and this means the core is wide open. Wide open for business. Camp towards the top side is also pushing in towards keep number 2. And there's the kill against Vala. Main damage dealer is all of a sudden gone. Chris gets a salvo through. That's good for him. But Copenhagen falls as well. And the Dragonite is already busying themselves on the shields at the core. This is it, ladies. The lead in the best of 7 series. Another kick against Oriel. But it is washed up with 15 kills against 7. Who takes game number 1 in this grand final. GG and well played as the red team takes the W. Game number 2, the best of 7 series at the grand final of the All Hallows Cup continues, and the Fanclub was defeated on map number 1. Washed Up is in the lead, and let's jump straight into Infernal Shrines. Copenhagen for the blue team on Thrall, Henning on Malfurion, Chris on Hanzo, Lauber again on Melganis, and we have Ty on Orphea. Has been a hot minute since I've seen him on Orphea, so I'm pretty happy that this is happening now. On the right side, then again, Washed Up with Quasar on Blaze, Hazorps on Gul'dan, Nick on Malthael, Banana H on Ana, and Masquerade on ETC. Yep, once again, we have Bananas Ana, and yeah, he usually gets even banned out on the hero because the impact that he has with him is pretty crazy. Now, we have obviously an interesting setup now for Ana because we see 2 recipients, or possible recipients, for the nano boost later on. Gul'dan would be very happy about it, and Malthael, especially if he thinks about going into Tormented Souls, would be another hero that could very well benefit from that. Ty at the bottom of the map, currently sitting tight here. Echo of Elements, by the way, for Thrall, who's going to attempt to control the top lane as much as he can. The problem is he's already going to be up against 2. Quasar nearly gets the kill against Copenhagen. Chris helps out a little bit, but this is already setting the stage here. I love it when these 2 teams go up against each other. It is just absolutely amazing. Seriously. Them, nothing changed. A few other teams, it is just a treat to cast them and see them play. The first game of the best of 7 was already phenomenal, and I just hope that the rest of the series is going to be played on the same level. The setup against Ty here as Hazorps is starting to aim in, trying to get a couple of shots connected. There's the root on the ground against Masquerade. Malthael actually attempting to steal away the camp over here. That's a cool one too, but Lauber is on the move. Makes it on the point. Ooh, Masquerade with a zone, and everybody else is now coming in too, but this is going to be a big battle. Hazu with a big boy damage, and down they go. Malthael is dropping Malfurion, ETC falls, and so do Hanzo, Orphea, and Thrall. Unbelievable. What a setup. Nick is able to just obliterate the opponent's team with the help of Hazorps and his boys. So that was just absolutely premium. The Fanclub trying to invade the opponent's camp, moves in with Lauber, and they get demolished. 4 kills against 1. That was a really, really bad start into game number 2 for the Fanclub. Washed Up in an absolute fantastic form now to at least claim the first objective. I mean, it's still the same from an experience perspective when you're looking towards talents, of course, but this could make the difference between you fighting with level 7 talents over the first objective or without it. So that's the big difference here. And this is actually a huge one, because if you're able to grab that level 7 talent as the fight still continues on the shrine, it more or less guarantees you that you're walking away with objective number 1. But camps are now taken. Actually, only 1 camp is taken. The top right side is claimed by the red team. The blue team hasn't really made any moves there yet. And the shrine is about to activate. Still half a level ahead. Obviously, the blue team is looking for kills. Can't really find any at this point. Let's see. Here's the position, already taken by Washed Up as they're starting to take a slight lead. Especially since Thrall is still sitting topside, dealing with the camp. He's now rotating in, but there is an advantage for Washed Up as this starts already. And as more minions are pushing into the walls, there's some experience that is lost to the blue team. The Fanclub trying to set something up with Melganis now. Here comes the damage against Nick, but he's able to walk away. Malthael is still fine. Chris is starting to drop a little bit low. There's only half a level until level 7 is in their hands, and therefore also the additional talent. And the problem is that this particular wave can easily be claimed by them. They're still ahead, 28 against 17 points. Nick kept alive by Ana as everybody moves out, but the blue team pushes into the shrine now and zones them out with Malfurion. But if anybody is moving in and gets the XP, that's a different matter. The Shaman Camp at the top is also still doing some work, but here comes the slide Lauber with the attempted setup, but he finds himself on the wrong side of this equation. Nick is also low and nearly gets dropped, but Tai cannot connect the damage, not the final points. It's close on the objective. Lauber is about to fall, but it's washed up. That claims the Punisher on top of that too. Oh my god. Milgan is down, Gul'dan down, Masquerade still alive, Banana H missing one single dart, and that's the end of ETC, but they still go through the entire wall. Punisher's stun is getting procced and nearly murders Henny here. He wants a piece of the action too. The entire wall is eliminated, 5 kills against 3, and now Banana H is moving in, Malthael is rotating bot side. There's a lot of damage actually, considering that 2 heroes died. This game is all over the place. Look at Henny. Henny is just sitting there saying, like, I hate this. And that's 50% damage on the fort. Just for free through objective number 1. That is all that they really needed here. Experience is similar then again. So that's one advantage that the fan club has now, that they actually brought that back. But they lost a lot in that mid lane. There's no fountain left for them anymore. No option to tap any longer. And on top of this, of course, the problem that this fort is pretty much up for grabs whenever Washed Up is making a rotation with the 3-1 heroes. Camps are also not taken at the bottom of the map. And this actually brings me back to a talking point that I had a lot in the games of the fan club in general. They usually get a lot of their experience through the camps, through the mercenaries. They're doing really well by just regularly rotating between them and grabbing as many as they can. And Washed Up is actually shutting that down as much as they can. They themselves are the ones claiming even more experience points through mercenary camps, and they're denying them to their opponent at nearly every step of the way. So this is a pretty cool setup now from the red team. It's still a very, very even one here. And this is a best of 7 series. Washed Up has a lead in this now, but this can change quickly. A bit of momentum and you grab 2 maps and it's a whole different story. But at this point it just seems that Washed Up feels very, very confident heading into this particular one now. Top side, talking about confidence, seems like Copenhagen might be in trouble here. He's actually rotating way back, but even there he doesn't seem to be safe. 1 stun is all that's needed, but he actually is able to move around. And as help is coming in the form of Mal'Ganis, the 3-man setup that was attempting to gank the War Chief is already moving back out. Yeah, no attacks against Green Jesus here. Not happening this time. Level 10 abilities, slightly quicker for the blue team, so nice turnaround in experience. Earthquake is in, and at this point we have also the Crushing Jaws. Yeah, can try and crush them all they like. If they set the Earthquake up before, or a good ult from Hanzo, then that might be exactly what Tai needs to put Orphea into the picture here. Typical build, by the way, from Orphea. After the initial traditional pick in the Ancestral Strength, more of a Dread focus at level 4 and level 7. Talking about focus, they're heavily focusing on Lauber right now. There come the Jaws, the Horrify did not lead to a kill, and the Nano Boost on Malthael as he jumps in. All ready with another setup against Lauber. Lauber is low and he goes down. But there are counter kills available. Oh, mosh pit, baby! Against 3. Gul'dan is down and ETC dies too. He gets the perfect mosh pit off against 3 heroes, but instead of picking up an additional kill, they lose 2 in the process. Oh, that hurt. That hurt. That was well played by the blue team. The fan club with a great showing there. But once that ETC locked the mosh pit in, it really seemed like they might be able to make the move. Yeah, and also, as we've seen in the fight, Tormented Souls with the Nano Boost. This is what I've talked about at the beginning of the game. It can really ruin your day. Nano Boosted Malthael with Tormented Souls, if that gains any momentum in the team fight, it can absolutely destroy you. And we've seen this a little bit more often. There are actually also setups where it's pretty much a flat-out GG moment in a series if you don't run any CC. But as it stands now, the fan club has dealt well with it. has gotten an advantage through the kills and picks up objective number 2. 37 stacks at this point, and they're going to try and get as much as they can with that Punisher, obviously. So I guess the fort is likely going to fall. Depends a bit on how many people rotate topside to defend against this. First of all, of course, they need to bait the Punisher over the wall, which is going to happen in just a moment. Blaze has taken a camp in the mid lane, so that is going to push that out. There's even the flank happening, but everybody is guarding the side entrance, especially, of course, Masquerade is waiting there and saying, okay, boys, I'm going to try and make sure that nobody is flanking in. Hazops even checking out Lauber's position here, but there's the damage again, and that's a bad move. Jaws are crushing Banana H nearly. He gets away, ETC doesn't. The nano boost on Hazops allows him to get the kill. Orphea is dead, and Hazops still trying to get some value. The fort is still in play, but the Punisher has already been baited over towards the keep, even over that wall. I mean, that's a deep bait that we're seeing from them. Punisher finally down, but so is the fort itself. Fort down, and oh boy, level 13 against level 12. Fort in the mid lane destroyed, fort at the top lane destroyed, so structural situation nearly the same. 7 kills versus 7. Look how even these two are. I mean, it's honestly incredible. These two teams are insanely even when it comes to the performance here. A little bit of an idea on the stacks, by the way, for you guys. 140 for Malthael on his level 4, 23 for Gul'dan, so he still needs a bit more. Hanzo is sitting on 3 on the level 1 as the fight continues. Once again, Lauber try... 4-man mosh pit! Where's Gul'dan when you need them? Lauber goes down, but they need to get another kill here, right? There's the slide, and that's the end of Orphea. Masquerade, what the fuck? The last time he got 3 heroes locked into the mosh pit, they didn't get a kill, and, well, he said, okay, guys, okay, I got the memo, I need to hit 4. I'm gonna make it happen. Comes in, hits the big mosh, and they get the 2 kills and the momentum. They take the camp, the momentum, and they're taking the lunch money too. The Quasar a bit low, but of course the fort falls. I mean, there's nobody here anymore to defend this. Without any of those heroes at the front line and Orphea either, there was just no chance to hold that. Pretty easy move towards the camp now. That's another one grabbed, and that's even more experience for them, of course. But this game is just a delight. What a great series so far. Great map, or great game on Dragonshire, and now Infernal Shrines is looking very, very similar. Back and forth the entire time. Really cool individual moves as well. Earlier Masquerade couldn't really get too much done after the mosh pit. This time Gul'dan was even missing. Like, even without Gul'dan, they were able to get these 2 kills. I mean, if Gul'dan would have been there too, the damage output would have been so insane. The follow-up with the Horrify, it could have honestly led to another 2 heroes dying there quite easily. It's all about the camps now and the announcement of the next shrine, of course. But top side, Malfurion is going to guard this. Shrine is going to spawn mid side. And the big deal here is actually that we still have a fountain ready for the team in red. So Washed Up has a fountain in the middle, which means they can pre-tap before they go into the shrine fight. Whereas there's just no way for the Fanclub to do any such thing. Bot lane. Copenhagen is still holding experience. Blaze is sitting top side. If he grabs all of this, they might be able to get level 16. And honestly, you don't want to fight against 16 talents. It's such a big power spike. If that happens, then I believe... Oh, get wrecked! They just steal it away. The arrow doesn't hit anything. And oh my god! 16 is taken, and they just moved over and said, oh, you took the camp for us. Thank you very much. We'll take that. We'll take that. They had a desperation fight here. Actually, can they get the kill? Nah, Bunker once again. Fantastic. Horrify and Thrall in trouble. But he gets out. Everybody else is rather low, though. Despite the fact that there's no level 16 for them, they get their kill. Tai comes in with Orphea and gets it. Nicely done by him. And that is actually... this is crazy. First they lose the Shaman camp, then they go in without a level 16 talent. They get the kill against Malthael and Washed Up just as they thought, okay guys, this is going absolutely amazing, is starting to fall behind. 21 against 19 points. Can they get a counter kill? Honestly doubt it. They don't have a lot of heroic abilities left. Masquerade has the mosh pit though. He hit a 3-man and a 4-man so far. If he's able to get another good setup, he might just be able to make a play here. But it doesn't really seem likely anymore. Well, they have the setup right here, and with the Punisher taken, there we go. Another mosh pit lockdown against Thrall this time, but I do not think that they can get the kill. But they got the one against Lauber, and that's all that they really needed. Punisher is a bit confused and goes into the wrong direction, moves to the left first, and the team's like, dude, like, their base is on the right. And he's like, oh, sorry, my apologies. I was a little bit confused there. Arcane Punisher with some value. They're already starting to jump in for our next kill, but Chris is moving out on Hanzo. Alright, 10 kills against 8, 14 minutes in. Another jump on Malthael. We are ready to rock and roll, ladies and gentlemen. Yep, camp gets taken again. Let's take a quick look at the few stacks that I can actually tell you about. 4 stacks for Hanzo, 36 for Khaldor, so very soon he's going to be done with the Echoed Corruption. And Runa's Affliction is going to capitalize on that too. Plus 175 for Malthael at this point. Prog is completed. And so far, so good. So, let's see what they can pull off with this. They got the camps again. Ooh, Blaze is already pinging. Has the bunker ready. We'll have to use that, and does just in time. ETC slides in. Arrow comes out. Nano boosted Malthael against with the Tormented Souls, and he's going into that back line. Henning gets absolutely wrecked by Malthael. Malthael himself might be in trouble. The power slide, the Horrify, and the kill against Thrall. Easy peasy double kill. They're looking for the triple. Still pressure bot side with the camp that was taken previously. One catapult with that. Guessing a little bit body blocked here. But they at least get some damage in. Top side is of course also another wave that has to be dealt with by Hazorps. And as the AoE do that without any problem. Blaze taking another camp. Next goal is obviously level 20. And maybe even to get a fort here. So this is gonna... Masquerade wants the... This is exactly what I said earlier. It wants the fountain. Because the next shrine spawns topside. If you take the fountain away, then again, no lane sustain for the opponent. They themselves already lost fort and fountain earlier. So you just want to make sure that there's no advantage for the opponent anymore. Pretty nice move here from Masquerade, and moves out shortly after. The rest of the team is already fighting a little bit. Just a small skirmish here. But... this is a cool game. It's a cool series, honestly. I'm actually pretty happy at this point that this is the best of 7. This guarantees us at least 4 games. Oh, the arrow only gets Anna. That's just simply not enough. Good jaws from Ophia, but not good enough to get a kill. Nobody follow up on it either. And with Mal'Ganis down, that's a 5 versus 4. And just look at this advantage in experience. 1.5 levels at this point. Malthael pushes out the top side. They try and go for the camp. They can go for the top 4. Big lead now for Washed Up. They have the lead in the series. They have the 1-0 over their opponent, and now they're starting to jump in to see what else they can get. The shrine is activating at the top. They have already a shaman camp taken. The fort is obviously going to be eliminated within seconds. They even take the wave down. And honestly, the fan club does pretty much the only thing that they can do. They try to push the bot lane, but at this point, Washed Up just signals, hey, if you push our bot forward, we are going to screw up your top team. So that's a trade you don't want to go for, and that forces most of the blue team to Hearthstone back. The only one staying at the bottom is Ty and his Ophia, so they're trying to get some experience here. But Malthael is even going for the camp. They are absolutely not afraid to split. They know that they have a massive advantage. Fortified bunker now on level 20. Demonic Circle for Gul'dan. That's a big one. No one can stop death for Malthael. I mean, at this point, they're just looking fantastic. And ETC hasn't made his choice yet, as usual, so he might quick pick into Death Mosh later on. So far, he's hitting his Mosh pits pretty reliably, so I'm not even sure if he's going to need that. Could go into the Bolt of the Storm, of course, too. 1-4 down. They might get a bit more than that. But there is just absolutely no doubt what's going to happen here. I mean, this is an attempt to go for keep and maybe even core from the perspective of Washed Up. If they can pick up a kill with the next move, they're going for a 2-0 lead in this best of 7 series. There's just no doubt. Half a level missing for the fan club, which means they're not going to have level 20 for this. And with the entire wall opened up, if you follow up on the Punisher stun, you are just in Heroes Heaven. And there we go. Arrow gets thrown out. They're trying to make the play for Lauber. He's in trouble. Earthquake in the backline's already used. Nick is in a bit of trouble, but the bunker's on the ground. Lauber goes down. And that Punisher is still doing work. Hanzo is getting attacked. What a beautiful Horrify follow-up by Hazuops. And they get that keep easy peasy. But Ana has been eliminated. Orphea went in and took her down. Level 20 is nearly ready for the Fanclub, but it's doubtful that they're going to be able to use it in this series. At least to a big extent. Only 3 heroes are surviving. In comes the Punisher again. Henning is low, and the core is falling too. They're going for it. They want the 2-0 lead in this series, and I don't think that the Fanclub can stop them. Washed up with another great game here in this best-of-7 grand final. Nicely done as they pick up the 2-0 lead over their opponent. Alright, ladies, there we go. Game number 3, and, well, washed up with a 2-0 lead over their opponent. So the Fanclub is actually starting to fall a bit behind in this best-of-7 series. We are on Alterac Pass now, and on the left side, Henning on Rhaegar. Lauber on Blaze, Chris on Falstad for the team, so already rocking the global here. Lauber, by the way, with the main tank Blaze. We have Copenhagen on Samuro, that in and of itself is already scary. And Tai with an arrow build Vala. We're going to talk about this in a moment. First, let's introduce the players on the right side. Banana H for Washed Up on Malfurion, Hazuops on Jimmy, Nick on Kerrigan, Masquerade on Mal'Ganis, and Dequaza is playing Rexa. There is already a lot to talk about right here. So first of all, we have Blaze in the main tank role. Lauber has talked quite a bit in recent interviews about how he feels that ever since the change on the jet propulsion came through, Mal'Ganis now has finally a more reliable stun and therefore serves much better in the main tank role than he did before. In addition to that, on a map that needs a lot of wave clear, he obviously can add that as well. But that's not the only thing that's actually really interesting with the setup that they're running. They have the global, Falstad already flying bot side to immediately deal with this. Wingman on level 1 for him. But also, Vala with an arrow build can be really, really strong here, because after the 5-minute mark, when the bosses appear on the map, if you have a completed level 4 quest, you can actually crush these bosses really, really quickly with your level 7 repeating arrow, so that you can just rush them down and quickly grab a boss on each lane, whereas your opponent is going to have a much, much harder time to claim these. So this is one play that they are having later on up their sleeves that they can always use when, let's say, they get a kill, for example. So this is one of the things that could work out there. Copenhagen, top side, already sitting tight. Camps are taken from both teams. This is a map where the first objective is oftentimes ignored until level 7 talents at least are in play. Also, talking about talents, we have Ace in the Hole again for Jimmy. And yeah, making a lot of sense for him, of course. It's pretty much just the norm. Again, seasoned marksman is something that some people are talking about, or the veteran marksman in this case. But in a normal game, you will very rarely get enough stacks, at least on this level of play, that you can make up for the damage increase that you get through the Ace in the Hole. So that pretty much never happens. Veteran marksman is more so something that you can either play in Plastic League or when you're playing in ARAM, but in any meaningful competitive level of play, it's not really a talent that is going to benefit you as the game continues. But as it stands, we have Rhaegar now also adding his wave clear to another camp that they're trying to take on the left side. Actually, in this case, they have taken it already and are just trying to claim it, to time it properly. Vala is already moving in. They're going for the steal, baby. Lauber is sitting there, and Banana H. Alright, he's sitting tight and he's saying like, okay guys, let's try and go. I like that he actually doesn't take it. I like that he still is not being forced into claiming it. The team's obviously playing a bit of a game of chicken here, hoping for their opponent to claim the camp first and then take their own later, so that they have a good chance of maybe pushing through the wall in the middle of the map. So both very, very reluctant to be the first one to go for it. Tai with a level 4 now, working on his stacks. At this point, again, I have to apologize for using the totally outdated HTC UI, which is just bad, because we can't look at stacks there either. I'm going to try to at least every now and then give you guys a glimpse, but in these, yeah, well, old version replays, there's unfortunately no option to go for the RLUA, but that we normally use here. So my apologies for that, but again, I was told that the series was absolutely fantastic, and so far that has definitely been true. So we'll definitely go through the series here. And I also want to highlight, again, this might be old version replays, but there was actually nothing changed that really affected the balance. This was more so something that was a small hotfix that Blizzard introduced, so it's not that these are on an actual old patch with a lot of game changes coming through in the meantime. So still very much so up to date. Level 6 on both sides, no kill yet, and Samuro is sitting topside. And Copenhagen on Samuro, he can be a huge thorn in the side of the blue team, the red team later on in the game. The global abilities that you have with Samuro and his pressure against structures in particular are extremely annoying. Very, very annoying. So this is going to be a big, big issue if the late game and the map opens up, for example. Okay, so with that said, top side is where Falstad is starting to claim the position against Rexa this time, since Samuro actually starts to move in. And at this point, we still have level 7 talents for both of the teams, but no move into the objective itself. Now Boomerang has been taken by Falstad, obviously. Hammergain's on level 4 for a little bit more solo lane sustain that he's going to have with this. And he actually is trying to steal this one away. Has the wingman ready, is looking for it, and bing, 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 claims the camp. Job well done, and flies immediately out to ensure that no rotation from the red team could possibly drop him here. So yeah, nice play by him. Poor pressure on the mid lane, and he flew topside to get even more of an advantage and experience for his team. But now they have to give up at least... Well, actually, they don't have to give up anything. Blaze with a nice interrupt against the channel. Ty then again on Vala in a bit of trouble, and that results in him dying too. First death of the game. Wash up again with the momentum here. Again starting to jump in to take them down. And this might lead to them claiming the first objective. And, well, I don't know what to say. Objectives on this map are absolutely no joke. The first one, maybe not that impactful just yet, because it just doesn't scale as hard. But once in the late game that you take these, your forts are gone, and then the keeps. And this is an easy one to be grabbed. One kill was all that was needed. It started with a nice move. I mean, Falstad steals the opponent's camp away, flies topside, gets a bit of XP, but then Ty gets caught, and with him eliminated, that's the first raiders to move through the map, and that will put a massive amount of pressure now onto at least the walls here. It's again early on in the game, but for example with the level 10 ability coming in, that could hurt. On the other side, if the blue team takes level 10 just a little bit quicker, they might be able to turn this around. And they're actually trying. Lauber moved in though, and here comes the side move as Masquerade is starting to lock him down. The rogue abilities aren't really in play yet. Good follow-up after carrying a combo with Malfurion dropping the roots and laying down the lawn. Also, Raiders at the bottom and in the middle active, and here's the level 10, the combo, and Lauber makes it out just in time. Tops the fountain. Level 10 abilities are in. That gives you us as expected for Samuro. Also his global abilities. Rain of Vengeance for Vala. Again, the Ultralist being used here. They're starting to make the big play in the mid lane. Masquerade needs to be cautious though. Topside, Falstad in trouble against Rexa and is moving out. But they're holding for now. They have lost the wall in the middle. They've lost the wall up at the top and put some pressure onto the fort, but it's still only one kill, and experience is pretty much the same. Oh, but here we go. Copenhagen at the bottom of the map is now starting to get some momentum. Already starting to move straight into the middle. I mean, he's going to send copies just all over the place now. And as I said before, once that the map actually opens up a little bit, he has just so much more wiggle room with all of this. Hunter-Gatherer on level 4 for Rexa, so he's going to be looking for globes throughout the entire game to ensure that he gets the extra armor for himself and Misha. No animal husbandry, which these days on this level we rarely see. In the past, when Rexa started to really make an appearance in the competitive scene again, that was one of the priority talents to be taken, since everybody was just figuring out, hey, how do we actually deal with this on the offlane? What do we have to do? Bottom of the map, there's the boss attack, and it's actually not the blue team, it's the red team that makes the play. Vala is, of course, the one who has with Monster Hunter a fantastic tool, especially with the repeating arrow, as I said previously, to take a boss quickly. Copenhagen moves in, but he's too late. They can't do anything about it. They obviously figured out at some point that they must be doing some kind of camp since everybody was just missing on the map, but the boss is still claimed. It's an 8-minute boss, so it's not going to do too much, but this is starting to add up. And I want to highlight again that in this best of 7 series, Washed Up has the lead. They have a 2-0 lead already. If they claim a win on Alterac Pass 2, they would need only one additional victory to crown themselves the champion here. The bunker dodge on the combo. They're trying to save Blaze here. Lauber is moving away. And here comes the Ancestral even. Everything needs to be used in order to keep him alive. Samuro is still at the bottom of the map dealing with the boss. The fort in the middle has at least been eliminated. So that was the one thing that the fan club could do. But this is still hurting. And Copenhagen is just sitting tight, telling his teammates, boys, just stay there. I'm soon gonna be in. I'm soon gonna be global. Right over there, has the copy up and can go straight for it. That's what we would think. Respawn them. Now the camp is counting towards another objective for Washed Up. Still only a single kill in this game, by the way. But 9 minutes and a single kill is all that was accomplished by the team so far. They need to reclaim this one, and now they finally do. Samuro is at this point sitting in the middle, so it's a 5 versus 5. And we have level 13. Siphoning Arrow for Vala. Also the cooldown reduction combo for Falstad has started with his pick. Giddy up for Reina, and as it turns out, Copenhagen is still sitting bot side, bringing us back to the initial talking point. He sends one of the copies over to Global in. Quest is completed for Rexa. Hunter-Gatherer is through, so additional armor for Enemisha. That's important. Quest completed for Vala as well, so that's fantastic. That's a huge damage boost and helps also to take boss and camps in general. Nice attack against Lauber though, but it's the end of Misha. It's a bit more pressure through the middle of the map now. Copenhagen is a pain in the ass at this point. A thorn in their side. He is the guy who is going to continuously now start pushing the lanes and then appear all of a sudden in the fight with a few copies trying to get the setup. But actually, Lauber gets locked down again, and this time he couldn't go for the bunker. Gets eliminated, that's the kill. And they are trying to get another one against Ty. The Ancestral, absolutely on point. Ty on the run, and is he gonna get out? What? Misha can't get the connect, and Ty is able to escape. Holy shit, the great escape of 2019. I mean, damn son, that Ancestral in the first place was just spectacular, and then he is able to make it out of this. What a setup. Yeah, but as you can see, with 2 kills against 0, Washed Up has the momentum to grab another objective potentially. So they are jumping in for that. Top side. This is where we have Copenhagen also trying to push another fort, but they have to try and prevent this. They can't make it happen though. Henning actually interrupts. Nick! Oh, Nick! The Chrysalis! Copenhagen makes it out. The objective is actually not taken, was denied by Rega. Here comes Chris with a quick gust to save them a little bit more time, and they're zoning them out completely. Nicely played. Objective number 2 not over yet, and Copenhagen is still doing his thing, moving the copies around on the map like pieces on the chessboard. Moves also down to the bottom where we have another double wave currently coming through, which is going to be big for them. Camps taken on all sides now. Quick glimpse also in terms of stacks. Pretty much every single quest talent that has so far been picked has been completed, so no big surprises here. Amalganis gets actually attacked now. Masquerade is a bit out. Still a lead in experience thanks to Copenhagen in particular and his Samuro play for the blue team. So that's actually huge here, considering that they have not killed a single hero yet. Ancestral again on Ty, the stun. And they try to go for Nick this time. The jet propulsion connects and it's a double kill. Kerrigan down, Malfurion eliminated. And they get the triple against Jimmy. All of a sudden the momentum swings back in favor of the fan club. Nicely played by them. They move straight in for the objective, and here we go. That's exactly what I talked earlier. Bam! Double arrow connects with the boss. Monster Hunter does its thing, and Ty is able to grab it easily with Samuro. No problem whatsoever. We have still a bit of a lead here for the red team on the objective, but this is going to be turned around pretty quickly, or so you would think. Masquerade is actually going in deep for this one. He might have gone a little bit too deep, to be honest with you. I mean, there's the Mighty Gust, as more or less expected, and they're going to lock him down. That was a pretty easy kill for them. I think he underestimated the situation quite significantly. Now we have a 5 versus 4 on the map. Level 16 is still not ready for them. There's the boss at the top lane that is going to go through the fort. And the objective is wide open and can be taken, especially after they're taking the camp over here. Falstad is already flying in, and they're going to claim this. Yeah, fort is down. They go for Misha. And this setup is starting to become incredibly difficult to handle from Washed Up. They started well into this game. They had 2 kills against 0. They were ahead in experience, but now the situation is changing completely. The boss is still active, is starting to do some work. By the way, talking bosses, the one at the bottom of the map is now available too, so Vala could theoretically make her way down there eventually. Still Manticore on level 16 for Vala, by the way. Not going into the seething hatred here. And they're trying to go for the objective again. And this time they're going to grab it. They're Fanclub, ladies and gentlemen. They take the cavalry. There's a camp pushing through the mid lane already. And if they can keep everybody alive here, just tap at the fountain, they're going to be in a fantastic spot. Yeah, 2 forts are down. They're going to knock on those keeps now. 4 kills against 2, level 17 against level 16. And the situation is starting to change. The Fanclub is fully aware that they need to make something happen if they want to have a chance in this best of 7 series. And if they actually lose map number 3, that would be a big problem, because making a reverse sweep happen where your opponent has already 3 maps up on you is... I mean, it's not impossible, but it would be an incredible miracle. To put a bit of a StarCraft reference on top of it now. Nice setup! The bird is down! Little birdie told Kerrigan he wants to die, and she's happy to comply here. Lauber is also in trouble, but let's not forget about the man or the orc of the hour, Samuro. He's getting more and more pressure at the bottom of the map, easily going through the fort here, together with the cavalry. Top side, the wall has also been destroyed. But then again, that is actually still a pretty solid defense from Washed Up. This could have been way worse. Yeah, they lost a few structures, they lost a couple of walls, they lost also the fort at the bottom of the map, they're level behind, and this is definitely not a great position. But it could have been so much worse. It could have been so much worse for them. So they still hold on to it. But I said it at the beginning of the game. In a late game scenario, where the map is opened up, aka where those forts are eliminated, Samuro is going to get mad value. And while the red team is focusing on the boss at the bot lane, we are talking about that mad value in the mid lane. Samuro is doing his thing right now. Samuro is moving in and he's saying like, ooh, look at that, a keep. And he claims it without any problem whatsoever. Easy keep for him. Samuro is already sitting topside now, is pushing out another wave. And I'm a bit curious to see how this is going to be played by Washed Up. I honestly expected them to make a move with the boss at the bottom of the map now. Talking about making moves, Misha comes in, camp is taken. Ty moves away, but yeah, good stun. Good Rain of Vengeance, good stun. Just look at Kopenhagen. Kopenhagen swaps out again on another copy, tries to rush away. There's pressure in the middle of the map. But of course the core regenerates on this map, so you don't really have to do too much here. Falstad is already defending. Just to give you a glimpse of stats that we have. Look at that siege damage on Samuro. 130,000 for him, 124,000 for Falstad. The two of them pretty even on that end at least. Damage output. Mal'Ganis, top damage for his team. Top damage for his team on 23,000. Yeah, Jimmy is sitting at 22, so does Kerrigan. And you compare that to the 59,000 that Taya has put onto the board without strafe, by the way, and you know what's up. So now level 20 abilities are in for the blue team, and this means objective. It's time to go for it straight away. So let's see what they're going to push out here. Well, there's the setup against Tai. He gets away. Samuro sits topside. Masquerade gets locked down once more. Good damage output from Vala. As they're starting to push them back. It's an entire level that's missing. And Samuro is doing Samuro things. He's like, ooh, another keep. Alright, let's go. And at the same time now, another lockdown attempt. But Misha is eating the stun. Okay. Oh, the bird is down. Nicely done. Really good setup. Is that actually the ticket back into the game for Washed Up? They're trying to go for the second kill. Lauber is low, and Lauber goes down. But so did Malfurion. And I got news for you. Another thing is about to fall too, and that is the top keep, and that's a problem. Yeah, that's barely going to get dropped. Or is it? Yep. The hero minion takes it down. 2 keeps eliminated. That means 2 of the armor shields on the core are now gone too. And the one thing that Washed Up should probably be afraid of is that top boss now. Because if that top boss gets claimed, that's a problem. There's 2 heroes that are still down, but if Samuro rotates topside and Vala just visits for a second, they can take this very easily. And I think this is exactly what the play is going to be. Look at that. They are already rotating towards the top. And the lanes get both pushed, and with 2 keeps gone, this is going to be a problem. I am flabbergasted that Wash Up has no one at the top side looking at this. Not a single person is looking at this. 2 heroes were dead the entire time. Nobody was guarding the boss. What the hell is going on here? Washed Up with a little bit of a brain fart, to be honest. This is going to be a goal for the core now. Samuro's going to try and end this. And yeah, those late game raiders that are about to be claimed by Washed Up are obviously fantastic, but this is just more than a bit of a surprise. They're already going for the attack. Boss is starting to move in. Down here, well, the objective at least is claimed, but that fight is not over by any means. Wind Tunnel came through. Masqueraders are about to get away. And the Raiders are obviously going to push this back soonish, but already the boss has, well, the core has taken some damage. Now we have the Raiders moving in. Boss is there, doesn't care at all, moves in with the rest of the team, and this is going to, they have to defend. Alright, we will take it down. But with them defending now, that means that it's an easier defense against the Raiders. I think Washed Up could have had it both. They could have defended the boss, sent 1 hero topside just to sneak in, delay a little bit, and then at the same time get the objective and have more of an aggressive push with it. Because as it stands, the raid at the bot lane has been defeated, the raid at the mid lane is down, and the raid at the top is not going to do anything either. 5 kills against 5. Structural position, way better for the red team, the blue team. Way better. So, yep. Now they have to fight for the next one as well. That objective didn't do anything for them. I mean, literally, it did nothing. It pushed the lanes out slightly, but not to the extent where they could maybe take a fort, even a keep. So yeah, cavalry has been slain easy peasy, and Samuro is doing the same thing that he's been doing all game long. Side lane pushing, just cancelling the shit out of Washed Up here. Unless he makes a mistake and they make a big misstep at some point, I really think eventually Samuro is going to be the one to make the big plays. You have to also understand, I mean, we are talking about these gnolls also scaling into the late game, and we're 20 minutes in. So with Samuro pushing out the lanes and 2 of the keeps gone, this boss, this core has only a single armor shield left, so eventually this is going to hurt. And it's beautiful that the thing regenerates hit points, but you can only hold so much. It defends itself for some time. But there's another boss up on the bot lane which can be claimed. They're already trying to make the play here. And if Samuro gets onto the core all by himself with a few minions wave pushing through, he can take it solo. And you have Falstad with a Mighty Gust as well. So there's so many angles that you have to cover now if you are Washed Up. This is nearly impossible. They need a kill. They need to find a kill. It's literally their only way into this. They're looking for lockdowns against Lauber and others, but it's difficult, and Samuro is rotating from lane to lane to lane, is pushing this out, immediately sending minions over again. Jimmy had to rotate top in order to defend here a bit. Core is already under pressure. Prisoner camps are about to spawn again. Melganis is checking at the bottom of the map against the boss, and this is exactly what I'm saying. They need to cover so many angles. And now they go for the boss, but look towards the top. There's Samuro, and if he jumps in, he can go for the core. This is exactly what he does. So the boss is about to be taken, but the rest of the team is moving in. I want to highlight the wind tunnel again. Yeah, exactly for that reason. Look what happens. Chris flies in, wind tunnels the shit out of them, and that is game, ladies and gentlemen. Or, well, it could very well be. Samuro is already moving in. There's the fortified bunker. They're making the play. Everybody got interrupted at the bottom. Falstad is still stalling them out as much as he can, and they are just going for it. Falstad is down, killed by Kerrigan. She can't defend here. Samuro is down. Uh-oh. That's a problem. Oh, ho, ho. And Henning is also on the run. The core is low, though. Can they take it? And yes, they can. Clutch, but they do. They take the first point for themselves in this best of 7. 1-2 as we head into game number 4. What a finish here on All Drag Pass. Game number 4, ladies. Let's get this show on the road. We have a series on our hands here in the grand final. The Fanclub has put the first point onto the scoreboard, and we're good to go with this. Washed up. I mean, honestly, it was clutch. It was clutch. When they were going for the core there and all of a sudden Samuro died, it looked for a moment like Wash Up might be able to just turn this, but yeah, it was a bit too late in the game. Minions did too much damage. Now we're heading into the 4th game with Chris on Sylvanas, Ty on Kira, heading on Malfurion, Lauber again with the main tank Blaze, and Copenhagen on Malthael. And towards the right side of the map, still Carrigan for Nick, Banana H on Ana, Haas on Junkrat, Dequaza on Rexa, and Masquerade is playing Garrosh. It's actually interesting that they let Ana through the draft the entire time. Because, well, at this point you would have expected Ana to be banned out here. And again, for everybody who watches this currently on YouTube, the one thing to point out is that if you're actually missing the draft every now and then in the series and you ask yourself like, hey, why the hell is Khaldor not showing this? The reason is actually simple. Drafts are only included in live streams because replay files unfortunately don't include draft information. We have to show a little bit of understanding here, obviously. Blizzard is a small indie company, so we can't really demand this much information there. But yeah, every single time when you see a game there where there are no drafts, you are pretty much guaranteed that it is because it was cast from replays. Because at the time when the series was live, there was either another tournament running or I couldn't commentate because I was sick or whatever. So this is exactly the case here, and this is the reason why we are looking at this without the draft information. But as it stands, we currently have Ty's Kira again, and it's something I want to talk about a bit. Because most other teams don't really play Kira in competitive. We've seen him make quite the impression there. He doesn't hold on to his 100% win rate anymore with Kira, by the way, so he has lost a few games with her too. But he is still doing a pretty impressive job with the hero, and one of the few players that actually does that. So the build, Banana H on his Ana just going full on AFK because he knows he can't pretty much do anything here. He needs to wait this out and he's only there to soak the experience. But yeah, as we're talking about Kira, the build is pretty much set. So on level 1, it's always the maximum effort that you see these days. We can comment on the rest of the talents that are coming through there too. But the Kira build, at least in the competitive setup, has pretty much been established there. And talking Kira, Ty, just as we mentioned him, is getting wrecked by Carrigan as they're starting to drop a few names as well. Actually, set up, this time against Lauber, and yeah, he is not gonna make it out of here, is he now? He's trying though, he's trying to rush out, then gets even a little bit of health. No way. Yeah, okay, Blaze dies. That would have been an incredible escape if you could have made that one happen. But yeah, not quite. So on level 4 now, upstage, so Blood Rage gets picked on level 4 and level 7 after the maximum effort on level 1. That's the traditional Kira build that we see, not only from Ty, but from any other player that goes for him as well. And Washed Up goes for Aggression, trying to be aggressive around this, as they are looking for Carrigan's connects with any heroes. First objective is up, and that means triple altar on the map, of course. And let's see how this is going to pan out as Copenhagen is now sitting topside. Still against Rexa and Misha. It's normally an even exchange between the bell towers. Carrigan can't really decide where exactly she wants to go, but at the bottom of the map it's a 3 versus 3, and there's a flip against Chris, who easily moves out of harm's way. No big problem for him. Malthael with the channel top left, top right, claimed by Rexa, and as so often, the third altar is the one that is heavily being fought. 4 shots fired against 4. And nice setup here. Kira coming in. Ty with a little wee moment as he swings around Masquerade on Garrosh. And they're trying to get the kills in. Masquerade is actually getting dropped really low. Carrigan stunned out too at this point. He can't really get enough damage in to drop a target. But it's a full-on 5 versus 5 effort that we're seeing between the two teams. And it really comes to a point where level 7 could even make all the difference here with the additional talent. There's a nice flip though against Ty. Swings out again, roots on the ground. Carrigan combo executed too. And a lot of CC with Blaze dropping the oil spill straight for the slows. They get the kill against Misha, so the bear is down for a couple of moments. An impossible situation to keep her alive here. And Rexa is starting to retreat. The loss of Misha was unbearable to him. And he is making his way towards the top once again. Yeah, Misha is back to business. That makes Rexa a happy panda. And Copenhagen is in position for the experience immediately too. Now, when we're talking about Towers of Doom, there's obviously a couple of factors that are incredibly important here. And one of the most important ones is the control over the pumpkins, since those can take points off the core directly. And bot lane control is incredibly important to the teams here. Malthel actually going down at the top, but ooh, Dequaza! Yeah, he gets wrecked too. And Ty is trying to get another kill connected, but wasn't really able to get the skill shot in here. Bottom of the map has also seen a few more fights in the meantime. Bit of a skirmish here. And the pumpkins are still alive. So yeah, those pumpkins are super important. The bot lane control is obviously highlighted all the time by pretty much any caster that you listen to these days. Because once that you hold the opponent's bottom bell tower, it just means that these pumpkins will threaten core points directly. And this is why most of the teams focus heavily on the bottom of the map and have a solo laner rotate between the middle and the top, just trying to grab the experience and trying to stay safe there. This is exactly what we're seeing in this game, done by Rexa and Malthel most of the time. But with Carrigan trying to get the aggression through and also Kira rotating, there's a little bit more of a rotational play happening here than in most games of Towers of Doom. Level 10 abilities are the next step also for both teams. And yeah, here comes the altar. Starting to activate in the middle. Talking about activating, Nick is still looking for a target. This is actually the dangerous point, because you not only have Carrigan, but you also have Masquerade. Once that he has his Warlord's Challenge, it's going to get even worse. Nice dodge by Copenhagen! And he gets out of the fight just as Carrigan was looking for another connect. Sylvanas, in the meantime, has channeled the bottom altar. That's 4 shots fired, which means that the next big fight is going to happen over the middle. Lauber is low, gets nicely locked into the stun by Carrigan. But oh my god, the counter damage! Masquerade! Oh, Copenhagen wants the kill, and Anna is just healing him up the entire time. The flip, and Copenhagen is sitting there saying like, fuck my life. Easy kill against him. But the altar gets channeled by Laubers Fanclub nonetheless, which puts the core points down to 24 for washed up, and we're still looking at 36 for the blue team. But that was a really, really nice flip. The entire time, Malthel is trying to hunt him down. I am the aspect of death. And Garrosh comes and says, bro, I don't give a shit. I have an Ana behind me. You can't kill me, and I'm just gonna flip you into the tower. Have fun with it. So, yep. Lauber with a lockdown. 5 kills against 2 in favor of the red team, but they couldn't really get too much in. Now another attack against Masquerade, but that bad boy just doesn't die. He's still alive. Bananas Ana is just awesome. That guy went to sniper training with the Navy SEALs or something like that. But yeah, he has a little bit of army training, and he just doesn't miss any kind of heal snipes at all. Certified medic right here. Talking about the two teams and aggression top side. This is where, again, they're trying to set a little bit something up. Both teams actually rotating a second hero in to get the solo laner. Kira and Carrigan both made the rotation, but both weren't able to really capitalize on any of these moves yet. And the move down to the bottom of the map is imminent by the two. Masquerade sitting tight. Kira comes in, another flip, another stun. And some damage against the frontliner of Washed Up, but he's still staying safe. And with the altar spawning at the bottom of the map, and it's only being a tight. Swinging around, combo immediately as Nick says, screw you, nano boost on Carrigan, and Nick is going face. Goes straight in for another quick kill, and after the death of Kira, we see Blaze eliminated to 7 kills against 2 at this point. Lead in experience, but behind on the objective. Thankfully for them though, they will be able to grab this altar at the bottom right and at least take 4 points off the core of their opponent. The problem is obviously that with Sylvanas taken in the draft by the Fanclub, Whenever there's a few kills coming through from Chris and his boys, it means that they have an easy time getting those bell towers. So this is something that Washed Up has to be really afraid of. If they start to lose control, it might snowball quickly against them. But at this point, they control at least the team fights. 7 kills against 2, level lead, which also gives them a talent advantage. And control over the top lane to a huge extent as they take another camp here. There's very little to be grabbed at the bottom of the map now. The pumpkin camps aren't up right now. So there's little to do. But let's see what they can pull off here. Lauber is already double checking if anybody is maybe even going for the boss. Everybody is just going straight in for the Chinese bush meta, trying to hide vision as much as they can. But they have at least an idea of where the opponent is positioned, which is why Chris can go a little bit deeper, playing it super safe here. It's actually one of the things that Chris has been known for his entire Heroes of the Storm career. Just playing it as safe as he possibly can. Lauber not so much though, which obviously is also a bit of a different story since he is the frontliner for the team. But he gets quickly taken down as Kerrigan connects the combo. And this is just the big threat. I mean, honestly, this is the big problem if you're going up against an opponent that has this much CC. We're looking at a Sleeping Dart, a Kerrigan combo, Misha with a stun, Garrosh with 1, displacements from Junkrat, and then the Warlord's challenge. If anyone really starts a good lockdown against you, you are gonna have trouble to just get away, no matter what you're attempting to use. So you can't really blame Lauber for that too much. Once the CC train is hitting you hard, you pretty much can't move your hero anymore. But this leads to 2 camps taken at the bottom of the map. And 6 pumpkins are going to do a lot of work. It's a channel at the top right and top left without anybody playing around, so it's just a normal setup. But pumpkins are making it through at the bottom, putting some pressure on as we see the shots fired. 28 against 20 now, so still a comfortable lead for the blue team. But in experience and in kills, that's a really different story. And an early level 16 talent might just be what Washed Up needs to snowball this hard and get the 3rd win in this best of 7 series here at the Grand Final. We'll see if it comes to that, because the Fanclub has to fight back into it. And if they get a good setup for a team fight and can maybe grab a few kills themselves, that would be fantastic. Also, a big deal for Blaze is that he has the new habits completed. So now he finally has a chance to actually dodge some of those CC points. Here comes the bunker. Tranquility on the ground. This time they're making the play again. Banana is just low. Tai coming in from the side. The kill against Ana. Kerrigan still playing it out here, but the nano boost is over. Masquerade makes it out once more. He just does not die. But it looks like Hazorbs just might. And yes, Hazorbs gets wrecked. Kira with a kill. And that double kill might lead to some momentum for the Fanclub. And immediately the pings on the bot lane. I mean, right away they're saying, alright, let's get Sylvanas in position and just go for it right here. They move to the bottom, try to take the bell tower, and even if they're not able to claim it, they will put a lot of damage onto it. But who are we kidding? At this point, it's an easy grab, obviously. And you look at experience, and it's nearly even. 16 is slightly quicker for Washed Up. But the Fanclub is so close, they have a good chance. And now we're talking 5 bell towers against 3. And with the triple altar phase coming up, this is a huge opportunity for the Fanclub to set themselves massively ahead here. Just imagine if they can grab 2 of these altars. That would put Washed Up down to 10 points on the core. The zone out is strong though. But Tai could go for an interrupt here. Gets it. Okay. Sylvanas is channeling the bottom. 5 shots fired against 3. And here comes the fight. Copenhagen is already attempting the channel. 15 against 25 points on the core at this point. And they're starting to go for it. The flip! Haha! Blaze! And he has no chance to activate the bunker. None whatsoever. Nano boost on Kerrigan again. The silence comes through, but it doesn't do enough. And in the 5 versus 4 mode, Washed Up is likely going to pick up that bell tower. Oh, and they pick up the next kill too. Nick and his Kerrigan. It is just beautiful to watch him on that hero. Incredible setups by him. They get another bell tower. Obviously only 3 shots. But well, better than nothing. 30,000 damage for Kerrigan. Doesn't surprise me. 29k for Junkrat. And Chris with 28,000 top damage dealer for his team. 27k though for Maltha. And even Kira isn't really far off with 24,000 that she currently controls here. 10 kills against 4. But still a solid lead on the points on the core. But obviously with the kills that they just got, they're now also able to reclaim the bell tower at the bot lane. And this is crucial. This is absolutely crucial. 4 bell towers against 4 again. Lead in experience. 4 washed up. And every single game in this series so far has been close. Every single one of them. Every single one. Copenhagen, top side again. Bottom of the map. The 4-man is moving in. And Lauber is actually at this point just super annoyed, I would assume. Every single time a stun connects with him, he gets taunted by the Warlord's challenge. There's a Carrigan combo, and he's just hammering that R button and can never actually drop that bunker. Even with the new habits, it's just incredibly difficult for him to get any moment, any frame where he finally can activate some of his sustainability talents or fight to make it work. And Misha obviously wants to stun too. Single altar spawning. Look at Carrigan. Nick sitting at the side. Ultralist doesn't connect. And this time they might actually be just out of luck. In comes the move against Lauber. This time he goes for it. Is that a kill? No. Masquerade actually survives, but Anna doesn't. And that could be a follow-up kill. They finally get Masquerade. Garrosh falls. Misha's about to be eliminated. And this is again disastrous for the red team. They have lost 2 heroes, only 3 for the defense. And Sylvanas moves in immediately, says, this bell tower is mine. And those double kills come through just as the altar activates on the map. That's going to be another 5 shots against the core. And with that, we will have washed up down to 10 points. And that momentum train is hitting hard. As the kills come in the later stage of the game, the death timers obviously increased compared to the early game, and that gives you more and more momentum. 1 single grenade. Henning playing Bruno Mars, catching a grenade for Lauber and allowing him to get the channel. There's the 5 shots fired right now. And this put us to 22 points against 10. Up to the top, Rexa. Bad actors feigning his death again. Nobody believed him though. Last Rights is up. Misha down. Last Rights in, but that's not enough. Lauber then again. Okay, he's tickling them a little bit more. 19 versus 19. 6 kills against 10. And we get the waves once more. Another move at the wave right here. Move down to the bottom of the map now with more pumpkin camps spawning. 5 versus 5. There's the fight. Nick, every time. Looking for the kills, looking for the setup. Ty, by the way, too. I mean, Ty is sitting at the side. Attempting to make his little play here. Goes straight in for Carrigan. There's already the silence. A little bit of damage against Anna and against Carrigan. The rest of the fight is happening on the left side. Camp is claimed by Misha, actually. Good, Misha. Lockdown against Ty. Not successful. He might still fall. Warlord challenge is in. And Kira survives. No! The bunker a bit too late, but Garrosh has fallen. So does Carrigan. Uh-oh, this could be a disaster. There's the Riptire. Hazops is still in, but the Quasar might fall. This time the last rights could go through, and I think it definitely will. Yes, that's a kill. No! Oh, he dodges out on the stack. That at least was awesome, but with 3 heroes down and a 3-for-1 trade, this is just beautiful. Guys, this could be it. I mean, it's 5 bell towers against 3. You have a double altar activating, and if they get both of them, then that's just game. That could be absolutely game here. Junkrat gets attacked. Sleep Dart against Blaze, but yes, Altar's activating in 2. And they're already ready for the channel. Malfury is sitting right there. Anna gets interrupted and is gonna fall. She's down. 5 shots fired from Sylvanas channeling the bottom altar. The core down to the single digits now. 4 washed up, and Henning is gonna seal the deal now. Well, not if Hazops has anything to say about it. But as it turns out, he doesn't have to say a lot, because he is dead too. And that is game. That is a tie in the series. And I'm not talking about Kira here. So we have a 2-2 in this best of 7 grand final as we're heading into map number 5. What a great setup. Fantastic series thus far. Let's head straight into the 5th game. Game number 5. Well, the series has pretty much been reduced to a best of 3, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, a best of 7 here at the grand final, but we have a tie. And I'm not talking about the Laubers fan club player. No, we have a 2-2. And Cursed Hollow is map number 5. On the left side, once again, Chris on Sylvanas for the blue team. Copenhagen on Dehaka, Henning on Malfurion, Ty on Falstad, so double global that they're playing. And Lauber just looked at it and said, hey boys, I have 100% win rate in this series on Blaze as a main tank. Let's just continue that style. Also, for the red team, for Washed Up, Ana was played again in the previous games, and this is no exception. Banana Age grabs the hero together with Nick on Liming, so Nano boosted Liming incoming. Chen played by Dequaza, Hazu Ops on Hanzo, and Masquerade on Melganis. The Eye of the Tiger, immediately picked by Chen, his mother's eyes. And top side, this is where Tai is currently sitting tight here, so we have a global on each side of the map, which will allow them to rotate to whatever lane they really need to with any of the globals. It's actually a pretty cool move on a macro map like Cursed Hollow. Can backfire, obviously, but it is, for a late game, incredibly impactful to have 2 globals in your lineup, because you can make really smooth moves around your opponent's structures, maybe make a quick play for the boss, and especially Chris, I mean, he's not playing Falstad this game, it's actually Ty that moved in for him. But Chris, last time that they played on this map, made an absolute incredible boss deal happen with Falstad. Pretty much textbook. And it looked really fantastic. No talent taken yet on the Ming side. There we go. Okay. Going into the Force Armor on level 1 this time. So trying to change things up slightly for them. But, well, camps claimed as we are 1 minute in. So pretty typical. You have normal camps spawning 1 minute into the game, bosses spawn 5 minutes in, but on pretty much every map, I'd say, teams usually make the move for the easy camps as soon as they can. Good move from Tai. I like it. The attempt to use the global in the bush once that he was out of vision, but he can't really stop that attack against him. He goes down. There is already the Blaze rotation happening topside, so yeah, experience is not lost. But obviously it sucks a little bit when you lose Falstad this early and then have to try and take the position on the map again. Same time though, the Siege Giant camps are now moving in. Mass ping spam topside. I'm actually a little bit confused as to why. It doesn't really seem like anything big happening right now. Maybe Dequaza is just signaling, boys, I need a bit more help here, because those Siege Giants are starting to murder me if you don't help out. Gets obviously also stunned out by the jet propulsion, which means that he can't rely on the drinking, and therefore his shield, as much as he would probably like to, goes also straight into the AoE damage on level 4. At the same time, the camp claimed, and good timing from both teams actually. Well, in the sense of the blue team, we're going to have the attack against the wall with the help of Sylvanas, so that helps them, but the red team will be able to defend with their own night camp, and probably has a couple of those remaining, and can send them towards the opponent as the tribute spawns on the map and they're trying to go for it. But Sylvanas is getting value. Still a bit of a sleep setup. Chris gets away, okay. There wasn't really any damage dealer. Hazobs was obviously there, but if Liming, for example, rotated them, they might have been able to drop more damage and take them down here. Bottom of the map, tribute about to spawn. Slightly in experience at this point already for Washed Up. And they started into this best of 7 with a 2-0 lead. I mean, they had a huge amount of momentum going after the first 2 games. And now it just has completely switched over to the Fanclub. I don't want to say dominate the series, because we're not quite there yet, but they definitely have a lot of momentum that they build up through the last 2 games and carry into this, well, I was going to say the 3rd one, but the 5th game, which could be the 3rd win for them in a row. So let's see if Washed Up can break through the spell and make it work. Dominance on level 4 for Liming. Tai topside is also getting another tower destroyed, so structural perspective, they are doing well. Tai has, then again, as we're looking to the bottom of the map, it's a bit of a different picture. At least here we see the red team having a bit of an impact. Level 7 talent coming in for Nick now too. Slight setup here in the middle. Masquerade is not moving out too far though, so no problem for him. And Calamity gets picked up by Ming. Okay. Top side, Lauber, hoping for Dequaza to make a wrong move and rotate maybe down straight towards him. That didn't happen. They are still able to maybe zone out the red team from grabbing this second tribute. Nice setup against Chris, and he goes down. Beautiful kill. Second kill actually, and they pick up a 3rd one. Washed Up is going ham. You could say they go banana with Ana. Another sleep setup would maybe even lead to another one for them, but this should be the 2-0 lead in tributes. And Lauber is a bit far out, if you ask me. There's the combo. He gets body blocked, and that's Blaze dying too. That's not a good start for them. Washed Up has definitely started to take the initiative in this game. Now, the double global is a problem, and good rotations on the side of the Fanclub can do a lot in the later stages of the game when the forts are down. But this is a big lead. 4 kills against 0, 2 tributes 2. This is pretty much an easy curse at this point. I mean, just think about it. Level 10 will be ready in just a little bit. It's doubtful that the blue team is going to grab heroic abilities at the same time, or in time, for the 3rd tribute to be fought over. And if they can't make that happen, then eventually we're going to see the tribute channeled by the Washed Up, and this could lead to a huge advantage for them. So that is already announced, and yeah, we're going to have a curse. Now, the problem with curses actually is right now that you oftentimes miss out on lane experience. Because if you, for example, try to push a lane with 3 or 4, let's say you push a lane with 5 heroes even, because you have a curse against your opponent and you want to take some structures down. If you do that, you neglect the other 2 lanes where the minions of your opponent have a single hit point, so your own minion wave is clearing through them pretty quickly, and you don't get any experience from those waves. Whereas your opponent is only then rotating in later and soaking up the double experience, and that will give them a lead. So you have to be careful of that. Lauber gets attacked here. It's actually 10 versus 10, so decent job by the Fanclub. Actually well done, making sure that they have at least an even fight. And what a drag again with Smalganis. Nicely done. Big arrow against the bird though, and there we go. Chicken for dinner, baby. Another setup, the perfect stun against Chen. What a sexy jet propulsion from Lauber. Just interrupting it as he was trying to go for his ult. Very, very well done. But Banana Age gets the channel. And that's the curse against the blue team. The Fanclub in a bit of trouble. But let's see what they can get out of it. Li Ming getting the experience in the middle of the map. That's already important. 2 heroes have taken position at the bottom. And now Li Ming starts to rotate topside. Yeah, but this is the setup. Yeah, these are the experience points that are now lost for the red team, or would have been lost if Nick didn't move in. And as one wave after another builds up on the side of Washed Up, all that the blue team has to do is rotate heroes in later and deal with this. This is exactly the reason why we're now seeing a split on all 3 lanes. You have to do that. You don't want that curse to backfire against you. But of course, there's a huge risk now for the blue team as well. If the Fanclub is moving in too deep against these teams, they can force easy fights against them and then take them down. 1 fort would actually be a pretty solid first curse. If they get 1 fort, a bit of an experience lead, it's not going to be too crazy for the reasons pointed out. But we even have, yeah, Hazobs moving in and proxying a few of those waves. Bottom fort is definitely going to fall. In the middle, the wall is taken down. That's also some easy pressure from them. And this is a pretty solid setup. They're double checking the boss down here. Hazobs has, of course, an opportunity with the rest of the team to grab a boss if they can. And in this case, they're focusing on the top 1. But experience, as you can tell, is identical. One of the reasons why we actually have this is because Blizzard a year ago made the change that you don't pick up a ton of experience when you take structures down. So this experience that you normally got throughout a curse when you dropped forts isn't there anymore. You pick that up over time as your passive experience increase is enhanced, but that's about it. So you don't have that insta gratification anymore. Boss for a boss now. And bot side, that means, well, a bit of damage against this. Top side, this one has already taken out, so the red team's boss should do more here. He should be able to do a lot now. And even an attempt to steal the Siege Giant Camp away. Me likey. Alright, bottom of the map, that's not a problem, but keep the double global in mind. They might be able to make a play around that too. Here comes Lauber. Jet propulsion is in. Can they actually go for the kill here? Uh-oh, that's a problem. Ana gets toasted. Ana, for a second I thought he would survive. Ana is down, but the counter kill attempts, and once more Falstad falls. Falstad is dead. Chen is once again down too. He gets interrupted every single time on his ult. He twice now tried to pull it off, and twice he was denied. Incredibly annoying here for Dequaza. But the boss has done some work. The top fort has fallen, so 2 forts are eliminated. Is starting to break through the wall. And at the bottom of the map, Hazorps is sitting tight and just saying like, yeah, you guys are not even going to get a fort out of this one. But Blaze is pushing through the middle, and this is where they are really getting some value. Take the fountain down, go for the fort itself. Banana H and Nick are having a tough time dealing with that. But they at least will be able to hold it. And it turns out that I was actually... I wasn't quite wrong. Thought the bot lane is still in. But let's face it, that one is going to be taken within a second if Sylvanas even sneezes at it. So yeah, they won't be able to get too much out of this. The Haka topside now, so this is where the global value starts to begin for the blue team. You can already tell with the leading experience that they have. They're banking the hopes on it. Again, the setup. What a combo! The arrow! Cleansed out! Tie with the gas, but it seems that Falstad is still gonna fall. He is down. Isolation on Malgan is probably gonna be the end of Masquerade, but they got the kill against Sylvanas and Malfurion with this. Great setup once more. Ana in trouble, but she survives as Blaze dies, and that's a quad kill for them. Tribute after tribute claimed by Washed Up. This is actually the 4th tribute in a row now that they have taken. Chen going towards the top to try and prevent the fort from falling. I don't really think he can make that happen. I feel it's a bit too late for them already. If I'm the Quasar, I'm just tilted that I never really get my ult through. And he needs to play around those stuns. The problem is he has to deal with Blaze, he has to deal with the potential Gust. There's also the Haka. The arrow from Sylvanas. If the Quasar at any point gets the channel through on Chen in those fights, he has an easy time homing in on Falstad, Malfurion or Sylvanas. I mean, all 3 of them are going to be incredibly threatened by that ult. But let's see if it ever comes to that. 10 kills against 6. 16 versus 16. And it's time to shine. Falstad has the full-on cooldown reduction for his mage build at this point. Mirror Ball for Li Ming. And Falstad moves in as the Haka still sits at the bottom for some extra experience. But actually the Haka coming in from the side now, looking for the drag. And gets immediately targeted himself. Li Ming coming in at the side. Tai gets attacked. Goes for the Gust. Gusts them up. Arrow from Sylvanas has also been shot out and they couldn't get a lot of with it. Not ready here. Chen moving through. Here comes once more Malganis, and what a setup against Lauber. Nice damage as it connects. Nano boost on Li Ming, really helping out Nick here. Lauber with another jet propulsion, but he's low and he gets dropped. And the bird doesn't look too good either. Tai moves out, and that's another tribute taken. I mean, they're just not stopping on the objective. 5 tributes in a row now, taken by Washed Up. The team has camps pushing through the middle and the bottom. They're looking fantastic here. The Quasar soaks the shots up in the mid lane. The fort, as a result, goes down. And now they just home in on the wall, trying to destroy a few more structures. Falstad with the global has moved towards the bottom, and he's taking siege giants down. But this is a massive push now with the help of the spell aura. They go through one tower, they drop the second one, or are about to, and the gate has already fallen. Big lead at this point for Washed Up. And they have a potential second curse against their opponent now. Damage output also, 32,000 for Li Ming. Nick doing a great job with these nano boosts that he receives. 33,000 for Sylvanas. That at least is there. But this would hurt. This would actually hurt a lot. So let's see if they can actually grab this. Heroic abilities are pretty much all up, with the exception of Malganis, and he only has to wait another 6 seconds, and he's going to be good to go with 2. There we go. Cheap Beauty is up. Fanclub has to prevent this. They need a kill. And they're trying to get it. They're trying to get it against Malganis. There's the silence. There's everything. The arrow slows them down for just a moment, but Malganis falls. The triple panda is doing work, though. Bunker gets taken down. Henning with the tranquility is a little bit in trouble as Li Ming is trying to go in straight for him. And Henning is about to fall. He goes down, but both of the supports have been eliminated as Ana dies too. So does Sylvanas, though. But Tai, can he finally grab it? Yes, he can. At least they prevent the curse from coming through here. But now we still have a 3 versus 3 on the map. 3 versus 3 heroes, and the bosses are up too. And everybody's low. I don't think they can really go for this, or can they? Well, both teams seem to be just willing to go straight in for the boss on their end of the map. But this would be a good position for Washed Up because, well, first of all, they're much closer to level 20. So they have, in theory, an opportunity to acquire Storm Talons. And second of all, there is no fort at the top lane anymore. And, well, let's just face it, this wall is also pretty roughed up. When you're looking towards the bottom of the map, it's a different story. Now, there's not gonna be a lot of resistance from the fort itself, but just having the wall intact is gonna be a big deal. And we are also looking at another tribute spawning, and that's bad news for the fan club. They need to quickly go towards the top here and deal with it, or it's going to be problematic, to say the least. If you're getting hit by a curse as the boss is pushing, you can kiss your keep goodbye. Maybe even your core, if you are taking damage during that fight and losing a few heroes. So there's the combo, big one against Copenhagen. Can you say goodbye to half your HP at this point? Yeah, they're going for Lauber. Again, the focus onto Masquerade. He gets his ult through this time though, that helps. Can they keep him alive though? That's a bigger question. And Masquerade has to move away. Keep is getting attacked. This keep is gonna fall and nobody deals with it. At the bottom of the map, this is a different story. That one is already down to half HP. Tai gets the channel, so 2 tributes against 2 tributes now. But the fight isn't quite over. This eats a lot of damage, but gets healed up quickly. And even the interrupts, but the top keep is down. Top keep is down, yeah. You can forget about that. Half a level until 20. The position for the red team is fantastic. And at the bottom of the map, they're not even going for the defense. They could defend this, they're trying to go for the kill, and they get it against Blaze. They're setting another one up against Dehaka, who barely gets away with a tunneling clause, but they're trying to make another winning move here. They go for the core, and if they can pick up level 20, that would be another big advantage. Keep at the bot lane has now also fallen on the side of Washed Up, but they go towards the core, and it seems like they're actually aborting the mission. Tribute is spawning. There's the gust into the corner. Level 20 is ready, but nobody's making a move. And with a double global, Tai could fly in and try to claim this. Yeah, down here, Keep has fallen too. Dehaka is already in position, but I don't think he's going to be there in time. No, Copenhagen is already waddling away here. Dehaka is just saying like, maybe not today. So, Washed Up, taking a bit of a risk, and it didn't pan out. They traded keep for keep, that wasn't necessary, in the attempt to go for the core, and they weren't able to drop a single point of the main structure. But now they have the curse against the blue team. And with the camp claimed, they can easily go for the second keep. They have the spell aura here, and they should be able to put the keep down now. Especially since their minion wave is pushing through too. Bot lane is of course easily defended now by the minions alone because of the curse. And they have still the level 20 advantage over their opponent. That's something that we shouldn't neglect here either. That's a big power spike that you have with Storm Talons. Easy keep. Can they get more? That's the only question. Can they get more out of this? Hanzo has his arrow ready. If he connects a good one, that's probably all that they need here. Already starting to move away. They let the bottom keep stand for now. 2 keeps eliminated. Bosses, of course, still not ready for a few more minutes. But boy, this is getting close again. It's insane. Every single game in this series so far has actually been pretty close, and there was always comeback potential. I mean, hell, we have seen multiple comebacks throughout the entire series. 8 kills against 14 now. So the approach towards the top. Blue team's curse over. 2 keeps down, 2 lanes pushing, 18 minutes in. Catapults are going to do serious damage. The only advantage, or well, one of the advantages that we have for the fan club, nice connect. Yeah, one of the advantages that we see for them is that they control 2 tributes. So once that the next one spawns, in theory, they have a chance to set that up. Oh, but Lauber! Oh, yeah, the wind tunnel. Oh no! He goes down, gets murdered here. Oh, the ults are already out. Tai dies too. Oh god, that's the end of Copenhagen, isn't it? And with 3 down, it's a triple, baby. An easy triple against them. And this is gonna be game. Yeah, he dies, and I mean, they used everything. Bunker was used. They used the arrow on Sylvanas. It was even a Mighty Gust attempt in order to save him. And then a second later, Nick comes in with the damage output once more, and it just solidifies the situation, seals the deal, and now with 17 kills against 8, Washed Up is taking the lead in this best of 7 again. There is just no denying it. Malfurion and Sylvanas won't be able to hold this. There's absolutely no chance, especially with catapults already pushing into. This is it. 3-2 lead in the best of 7 for Washed Up against Laubers Fanclub. Great game on Cursed Hollow, and the red team once again victorious. GG and well played. Game on! Sky Temple, the next map. Washed Up has taken the lead again in the best of 7 here at the grand final of the All Hallows Cup. And we have a pretty special setup for the team in blue. Lauber on ETC, back to the roots, baby. Henning on Karazim, Copenhagen on Varian. Hashtag buff taunt. Tracer played by Ty, and Chris on Abathar. Alright, so Abathar together with Tracer is already dangerous, and on top of that we have Varian too. But on the right side, they gave Hazo-Ops the Sergeant. It's hammer time as Hazo-Ops picks up the tank. Banana H on Rhaegar this time. Nick on Liming. Dequaza on Rexa. And Masquerade on Mal'Ganis. They really like that frontline right now. Rexa plus Mal'Ganis picked a lot here. And, well, I'm gonna find out if they can actually close out the series and win this with a 4-2 victory. Or if indeed we're going into the last and final map of the series with a 7th. So, call me intrigued. There's a lot of kill potential definitely through the blue team. I'm a little bit surprised to see Copenhagen here. So, Blizzard actually buffed Taunt the other day, which triggered a bit of a Khaldor rant on my stream, because not so much that Taunt was buffed. I mean, obviously it is the strongest talent on level 4 for Varian. But still, Varian not necessarily a hero where you say, okay, he's full on in the meta, so buffing a couple of talents for him is not necessarily a bad move. What triggered me more so was that we had a lot of people within the community pretty much uttering sentences like, finally they buffed Taunt, the talent was unusable before. And that triggered a massive rant by Khaldor, just having to talk a little bit about the unbelievably lack of game knowledge that we have from big parts of the community in Heroes of the Storm that just don't understand how the game is being played and what actually talent builds look like. But in this case, we can still expect to see Taunt, I would say, after it has been buffed. The interesting part is that it's actually not out of the question that we're going to see something else too, because you have an Abathar setup, and that makes Varian a lot more dangerous as a melee assassin when you're looking more so for the burst damage. And Taunt normally requires you to have some burst damage behind you, and this is not really the case here. They could Taunt into a 7-sided strike on the other hand, so that's an option after level 10 kicks in. But we'll actually see how they play this out, because that Varian pick was still a bit suspicious. That's a nice kill though, second kill coming in for the blue team, and that's exactly the start they need in order to force game number 7. So there we have it. Taunt is taken, and with that also the parting gift. Hazo-Ops trying to defend the bot lane. Masquerade might be in a bit of trouble, but Ty is not able to connect the bomb or anything here for a 3rd kill. Now the problem obviously with that Tracer is going to have eventually is that Hazo-Ops as an auto attacker is going to do serious damage against Tracer. It's one of the counter plays that you oftentimes see against the hero, that you try to not solely rely on skill shots against her, but instead on point and click damage, which auto attacks obviously do. So you can go for Jimmy, you can go for Sergeant Hammer, Thrall with the Chain Lightning, and the point and click is quite good against her as well. CC obviously counters her quite nicely. So Sergeant Hammer against Tracer is definitely a tool in their kit that they will use once that they are setting up on those temples and try and zone Tracer out as much as possible. Dominance again for Li Ming. At the same time, we have Hunter-Gatherer claimed once more by Rexa, so we're looking for the globes and the armor that comes with it. Hazo-Ops in the meantime is just hammering the bot lane, but it's not even an even exchange in Bell Towers right now. It's actually the red team making a couple of moves against the Abathar team. Without the 5th body in the map, you can definitely pull that one off. Masquerade still able to move that out, and Abathar goes down in the meantime. Li Ming with the kill here in the middle of the map, nicely played. Hammer is also sitting bot side, just starting to destroy the entire wall setup. Varian at the top has to deal with Misha, then in and of itself is already tricky. In the mid lane we also have more aggression coming on. I mean, every single lane is currently under assault. either by temples or by hammer. And Hazu has never even made a move up to the middle. Doesn't really have to for this. In comes the attack against Masquerade. That could be a kill. He's already low. A little bit of health from Banana H-Seal. And Masquerade gets away. Nicely done. 2 kills against 1. Level 7 already in the hands of the team in red. There it is finally for the opponent. And the shots are fired. Alright. As all is said and done, let's have a little bit of a look at what happened here. Bot lane, completely fallen. That's actually incredibly important, because as we head into Objective 2, these fountains at the bot lane are going to be very, very important for the teams to have a pre-tap available as they're heading into the fight. At the top, the wall has been completely destroyed. Pretty much the same picture here in the middle. So from a structural perspective, slight advantage for the team red. Nice setup against Masquerade. And you can bet your... Oh, he actually survives this one. Yeah, you can bet your ass that we're going to see a 7-sided strike here, because that taunt into the 7-sided is going to be one of the big kill opportunities in every single team fight for the fan club if they can get an isolation going. Obviously, Abathar with Mule on this map is also incredibly powerful. He's the last hero that still has Mule, and this map is severely hinging on, or success on the map is severely hinging on your ability to get damage through by just attacking the structures either through an objective or ideally even without it. And if Abathar can Mule that up and therefore make it harder for your opponent to get value out of the temple objectives, then this is a huge victory. And already, pushes like this one are going to trigger a Mule eventually, but you want to take those structures down as quickly as you can for exactly that reason. There's the attack against Masquerade again. Hammer is sitting tight at the bottom of the map. And this is just the attempt to capitalize on the fact that there is no 5th hero available for the blue team yet. And with that I obviously mean the 5th hit point pool that you get once that you have the copy for Abathar and his heroic ability. And Hammer is getting some mad value at the bot lane. Some mad value. That fountain is already down. And Hazorps, together with the Siege Giants, can do an incredible amount of damage here and already did. And that comes just before the temple activates. And you look at experience, they're already about to grab level 10 abilities. So this temple should be an easy one to pick up for Washed Up. And the fan club is therefore in slight trouble. Once that we have level 10 for them though, they have the chance to go with Abathar for big, quick fights. And let's see if that's going to be enough. Yeah, the shots are fired as expected, and I mean the fort is down. The fort is going to be eliminated here. I wouldn't have even muled this. The mule is not going to get anything down. Mule at the top lane would have added way more value, as you can already tell. I mean, it slows it down a little bit, but that's half of the value of Mule lost in this case. Now the top lane is getting attacked. Everybody is just sitting at the bottom. Here come the level 10 abilities. Stage dive is in, 7-sided as expected. There's the stage dive. They might go for Masquerade. Is there taught into a 7-sided? Indeed there is, but the counter with the Ancestral comes in, and the attack is going strong as Masquerade is jumping back into this. Double Tracer right now is an option and immediately used. Variant falls though, and that is only the 4th kill in this game. But all of the structures for the blue team are in trouble, especially since the temple is taken again by Mal'Ganis, and that attacks straight the mid lane fort, and this one is going to drop. Chris is also going to get dropped if he doesn't pay attention here. The little slugger is in trouble. Yep, there's the damage. That's enough to drop the fort. Mule doesn't get anything, and the one at the top is still in trouble too. At least the hammer kill comes through, but that was a worthy trade. Hashtag worth it right there. Hammer goes down, but is able, together with the temple, to drop the second fort, so that's a big win for them, for sure. 3 kills against 2. There's a combo attempt. That didn't connect with anything. Misha is already sitting topside. So there is pressure. There's a lot of pressure against... Oh my god, what? In plain sight, they go for the boss? Damn, boss to the wall at this point. 7-sided setup again, and Masquerade is ghosting around, moving out of harm's way for a moment, but yeah, it's Abathar, baby. Needle spine straight to the face, my friend. This is where that level 4 talent came in. That extra range that we see right here, that just killed Mal'Ganis, and that's something that Lauber did not think about. He thought he's absolutely fine, and he completely forgot about the level 4 talent. And that range increase with damage, that just murdered him. So the boss still not taken. That's a bit of an upside here. But the advantage in kills, 4 against 2. The problem on this map is really that if you fall behind in structures, all that your opponent has to do, rotate around you, and trade temples. You can't trade temples anymore if you're behind, and that's exactly the situation that the fan club finds themselves in. Because if you just trade temples and nothing else, then eventually you're going to lose the game because you're running out of structures, even with the Abathur muling shit up. So this is a problem, and now we have a double temple activating. One at the top side, one at the bottom of the map. Neither one of the teams has a... Oh, well, actually, there's a stage dive. Lauber comes in, and Rek'Sai is still sitting top therefore, and could actually go for that fort without even going for the temple. There's a camp pushing in. That's a problem. Lauber moving to the bottom this quickly and trying to go for the kill. Would have been great if they could have gotten the kill, but instead it's Lauber who's in trouble, and he goes down. Oh, that's an issue. Guys, this is hugely problematic now. Yeah, 4 kills against 3, and this is painful. At the bottom of the map, the fight is not going well for the fan club either. So they are losing structures, they're losing heroes. Nice dodge by Copenhagen. Still eats a lot of damage, but he at least makes sure that he doesn't die. And both temples taken by Washed Up. I mean, oh my god. This is painful. This is really painful. They already lost every single fort that they have, and they haven't taken down a single one from Washed Up just yet. The pain train is coming, and it is taking off steam. That fountain is going to fall. There's going to be damage against the keep, even although it's just a little bit. And at the bottom of the map, we're seeing another wall fall. Structures are just eliminated all over the place. I think eventually the only play that the fan club has left is a boss play. Eventually they're going to make the move for the boss. Here comes ETC again. 7-sided. Masquerade is fine. Ancestral, not even needed. I mean, it wasn't cooldown anyways. Here comes the taunt attempt from Varian. He gets stunned out. Eats a lot of damage from Li Ming. The copy, as we have double ETC for the value. The BFG doesn't connect with Varian though. And Chris is losing the copy in just a second. Oh, rough times. Rough times for the fan club. They're losing more structures at the bottom. Shots are taken as Misha takes over, and it starts to attack the keep directly. This time the mule is going to find some value, but over here damage has obviously been done too. Can they go for the boss? I mean, again, I feel at some point the blue team has to. They have to go for the boss. At some point they just simply have to flip it and go for the Hail Mary move and say, guys, let's go for it. If we can win it, if we can take the boss and maybe get a kill or two with it, we gain momentum back, and if we lose, we're already behind. Once they start losing keeps, they are in so much trouble. I mean, they're already in an enormous amount of trouble here. But this would be a really impressive comeback. And of course, if they lose here, then it's over. Then the champion of the tournament is washed up. Li Ming going glass cannon. What the hell? Nick against Tracer went for glass cannon. Oh boy. The cojones on this boy are insane. His Kerrigan, super aggressive, now on Li Ming. I mean, again, he played Li Ming a lot in this series, and this is the first time that he actually goes for glass cannon. But it's unbelievable that he actually just uses that against this setup. And Abathur Tracer with Varian, he is asking for trouble. He must have a ton of faith in either his own abilities to get quick kills and therefore dominance value, or Rhaegar. But yep, there's the boss move. Boss move is claimed, and not even a fight for it. That's actually incredible in and of itself. I think the only reason why they let this one slide is because they go for keep now. Washed Up, that is. Washed Up knew exactly this would happen. But with a talent advantage and this, they're going for an easy keep. They're just saying, what is your boss going to do? Take our fort, be our guest. We're going to take keep now. Here comes the double Tracer, eliminated pretty quickly, and the damage against Lauber, and Lauber's in trouble. He's not the only one. The entire front line is all of a sudden going, guys, this could be game. This could be game. They could actually end it right here. There's 2 heroes down for another 30 seconds. They're already crushing through the keep. They have Hazuops on hammer. Catapults are pushing in. They're going for that core. Tai is trying to get something done, but he can't. Handing with the 7-sided. He's going to fall. He's down, and that should be that. Tai can't get close enough to them, simply because Hammer is getting one attack in after another. The Varian setup with Tracer and Abathur about to lose on Sky Temple, and that would give the tournament victory to Washed Up here at the All Hallows Cup. They take Tracer down, and this is it. Washed Up with a fantastic series, and they secure the victory on Sky Temple as they drop the fan club once again and crown themselves the champion. GG, and well played, as Washed Up takes the win in the best of 7 series. Hey guys, thanks for watching today's video, and I hope that you enjoyed the match and the commentary. The remaining time of the video has been added to protect against spoilers caused by the length of the video itself. But please keep in mind, though, that this does not only mean more work for me, but also has a negative impact on the popularity of the videos and the channel because of YouTube's algorithms. It would be greatly appreciated if you'd consider supporting the channel and help me to continue the daily esports coverage by clicking the join button below the video or supporting me through the Patreon page linked in the video description. Thanks a lot for the support and see you guys next time.